Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video. Today I'm bringing something a little different to my channel. Usually I like play games or showcase games I made and stuff, but today I had a little idea while talking to a friend of mine about a story I was planning for one of my Sonic fan games. He mentioned something very interesting to me, and I decided to add some extra thoughts to that and make a little theory video. So yeah, I'm gonna explain to you guys a little theory I have about Metal Sonic. So we all know who Metal Sonic is, right? He's Sonic's robot rival made by Eggman, who got introduced in Sonic CD as like the main marketing point of that game. But what if the metal we have in the newer games isn't the same metal from the old games? And I don't mean like classic Metal Sonic and modern Metal Sonic. I mean like they are an actual whole different character. This doesn't make much sense. You probably don't know what I mean, but I'll explain my theory to you guys. So we all know that in Sonic Heroes, Metal Sonic is the main villain in that game because he turned into Neo Metal Sonic, which is a new form he got, and it's not really explained how he transformed into Neo Metal Sonic. But basically, Neo Metal Sonic can like copy other characters' abilities and stuff. And he can even talk in that game, but it's not just Neo that can talk. The normal Metal Sonic also speaks after Sonic defeats Metal Overlord. But why can't Metal speak in the future games? Like he basically just can't talk. What's up with that? Well, at the end of Team Dark's story in Sonic Heroes, we are able to see that Shadow has been cloned by Eggman a lot of times. And in Shadow the Hedgehog, the same has happened, but it's explained that the Shadow clones are actually robots. They are androids of Shadow. So they're not really living beings like Shadow, they are just robots. Which means Eggman is able to clone robots. And at the end of Sonic Heroes, we just simply see Shadow and Omega holding the dead Metal Sonic after Team Sonic defeats the Metal Overlord. Like, they're just holding Metal Sonic. And I don't think they would just leave Metal Sonic over there in the Egg Fleet. So what I'm thinking is that Metal Sonic is the one we had since Sonic CD. And that Metal Sonic that we had since Sonic CD 2 Heroes, he's not alive anymore. Like, he's beyond repairs for Eggman. But Eggman got away, and in that game, Sonic Heroes, if you haven't played it, Metal Sonic actually betrays Eggman in that game. He traps Eggman in like his own prison in the Egg Fleet, and the Chaotix go and save him later. So I think maybe, I might be wrong, but maybe Eggman learned from his mistake of making Metal Sonic so sentient that he was able to turn back against Eggman to start his own plan. So Eggman decided to make a whole new Metal Sonic that was much weaker and less superior to the other one that we had since Sonic CD, because he learned from his mistake in Heroes. And that's why in games like Sonic Rivals Forward, Metal can't even talk anymore, because he became very inferior. He can't think like he did in Heroes. In Sonic Heroes, he was like wanting to become the Overlord, to become superior to Eggman. But in the other games, he's just another one of Eggman's dumb robots who can't talk. He's just there to fight Sonic and race him. So I'm thinking that these Metal Sonics are completely different to each other. So what I'm thinking is maybe Eggman cloned Metal Sonic, and the one we have in the newer games is not the same we had from CD to Heroes. So I'm thinking that maybe Eggman did something similar to what he did to Shadow. He cloned Metal Sonic, or maybe just built a whole new one that looks exactly the same. So I'm thinking he cloned Metal Sonic to make a new one that's inferior to the other one, for the purpose of him not ever turning back on Eggman again. And this whole cloning process must take a lot of games, because I feel like Sonic Heroes takes place a long time after Sonic Adventure 2. And this cloning process / rebuilding must take a lot of time, which might explain why Metal Sonic is not in Shadow the Hedgehog or Sonic 06. The closest appearance Metal Sonic is in since Heroes is Sonic Rivals. In that game, Eggman mentions that he can still copy data, but he still can't talk in Rivals, which is pretty weird. The same applies for Sonic Rivals 2. Metal Sonic can still not talk in that game. But funny enough, one of the weirdest things ever is that in Sonic Generations, classic Metal Sonic is able to talk. And with classic Sonic being like an old version of Metal Sonic, what I feel like is in Sonic CD, classic Metal could talk, but you know, it couldn't be applied in the game, because it's not in any of the classic games. And that's where I think my theory comes in. In Sonic CD, all the way up until Heroes, Metal Sonic has been able to talk. But after his defeat in Heroes and Eggman thinking that he should make Metal Sonic inferior to his old versions to not get betrayed again, he must have removed Metal's self-consciousness. Which is why in every game after Heroes, Metal Sonic is not able to talk. And that's why I think he's an overall different character. He's not the same Metal Sonic we had before. He's not the Metal from Heroes with a few repairs or anything. He's a completely new character. And the Metal Sonic we see in Heroes is destroyed now, and he's never coming back. This might also explain why Neo Metal Sonic never returned, because the only Metal Sonic strong enough to be able to turn into Neo Metal Sonic, the one that was capable to do that, doesn't exist anymore because he's destroyed. Because Sonic Heroes is the only game that Neo Metal appears in. I heard that he's in the comics, but I really didn't check them because I'm not sure the comics are even canon. And in Metal Sonic's latest appearance, as I'm making this video, as like an actual character and not like some boss fight in Sonic Forces or a classic character like in Sonic Mania, in Team Sonic Racing, Metal Sonic still can't talk. But it's very weird that the normal Metal Sonic simply can talk in Heroes. Like, you can't even make an argument that only Neo Metal Sonic can do that, because the normal one literally talks after he's defeated the normal Metal Sonic. And that's why I think he's destroyed forever. And the Metal Sonic we have now is a new copy of him, or just a clone of him, maybe, since Eggman is capable of cloning robots. Maybe Eggman just has a lot of Metal Sonics lying around, similar to the Sonic the Comic series, where there's like an Emperor Metal Sonic for a lot of newbie ones, or something like that. Now, I don't think this theory is true. I think Sega just retconned the fact that Metal can talk in Heroes, but I just find this very funny and very interesting, how Metal seems like a whole new character after Heroes. So seeing Shadow and Omega holding him at the end of the cutscene, I thought he just got completely destroyed. But yeah, that's just a little theory I made. What do you guys think? Do you think the Metal we see after Heroes is the same one from Heroes, but he just can't talk anymore? Or do you agree with my theory that he's a clone or just a copy of him? Comment down below and give a like if you like this little theory of mine. I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.